Hi, I'm Ms. Fung. Let's solve some quadratic inequalities. Example 1. Solve x squared minus 5x plus 6 is greater than 0. Now we know how to solve the equation x squared minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So let's do that first. To solve this, we have to factorize what two numbers multiply to give 6 and add to give minus 5. 2 times 3 is 6, but doesn't give minus 5. So we'll do minus 2 and minus 3, because minus and minus multiply gives a positive value. So now x is equal to positive 3 and x is equal to positive 2. Now we know the two values, but what we actually want is when this equation, or the y, is greater than 0. So let's sketch that and see what it looks like. So these are the two intercepts, and we notice that it is a positive graph. So 2 and 3, draw a positive graph. And greater than 0, if this whole thing is equal to y, we're asking for when y is greater than 0. Y is 0 there, it's less than 0 here, it's more than 0 there. So we want this section over here. So highlighting where we want. Now the solution is not x is 3 and x is 2. It's not these two values. The solution is all this section here. So what is the x value for that bit, that bit, that bit, that bit, and that bit? Those values there happen when x is less than 2. And those values over there happen when x is greater than 3. So x is 3 there, x could be 4, 5, 6, 7. So all those values there. So our solution of x squared minus 5x plus 6 greater than 0 is x is less than 2 or x is greater than 3. So all those values there. What happens if the question asks for x squared minus 5x plus 6 less than 0? In this case, we want below the x-axis. So this section here that I've highlighted in this peachy orange color. So for this section here, we notice that the x value is more than 2 and less than 3. So between 2 and 3. So if the question asks for less than 0 for this graph, we would have between 2 and 3 as our answer. Let's do a couple more examples. Let's solve for minus x squared plus 25 is greater than 0. So this time we want above the line. So we have to solve that section first. And we notice that we can bring the 25 to that side, then dividing both sides by -1 or multiplying by -1. We have x squared equals to 25, and square rooting that we get plus or minus square root of 25, which is plus or minus 5. Never ever forget your plus or minus. So now we sketch that. It is a negative graph. It looks like that, with the x-intercepts at -5 and 5. And we want greater than 0. So we want this section up here. We notice that the x values are between this -5, that value. We want x is 0, we want x is 1, we want x is 2, we want x is 3. So we want all these x values. So we want x between -5 and 5. Another question that I could ask would be the reverse of that. What if I asked you for the less than 0 scenario of that equation? So we want less than 0, and that happens for all these values. So -5, -6, -7, -8. So not -5 though, because it's not equal to, it's just less than -5. So x is less than -5, and all the values for this line, which 5, 6, 7, 8, so greater than 5. We can do this using the CADs as well. Let's try that. So let's go to main, and then we click on the following things. So math 3, so you have to click on keyboard to find math 3, which is there, and then find the solve button, which is there, and then type in your equation. So let's do the one we did before. So minus x squared, use that little hat thing for squared, plus 25 is greater than 0. Where's my greater sign? My greater sign is in here, and 0, and then hit execute, and that gives us the solution between -5 and 5. And notice that I can do less than 0. So if I hit less than 0, it should give us x is less than -5 or greater than 5. Ta-da! Which is there. That's it from me today. Practice with a calculator so you're familiar with all the buttons. Bye!